Here we go. All right, I'm gonna have to play with my lighting just a tad. I'll also play with my audio. You don't need to hear me echoing. There we go. All right, we can do that. A little bright for me. There we go. Now you can see me and I can see you, hopefully. So good evening, everybody. Coming to you live from deep in South Texas from my home studio this evening. It's Patrick. I hope this evening finds you happy, healthy, and whole, the 3 H's. As I said, I have a sticker coming. I had to redo it like 4 times today because they were having trouble. So good evening. Let's see everyone who's here. We have Groundfog who joined us right away. We have Marcos. Good morning. Good evening. I'm used to the morning show, guys. We have Paul Mills. Thank you for coming in. We have Blessed. Good evening. Thank you for being here. And give me a second here to go check a couple of things out in the other room. I'll be back in like 5 seconds. Okay, that one's good. This one's not. Okay, we are good. So good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope you guys are well. What are you all doing this evening? What are you carrying? How is everything? And let me set my chat so I'm getting all the chats. And there we go. All right, here we go. So earlier this evening, I was doing just a little bit of touching up on a blade. So I'm going to be sitting here stropping while we hang out and talk. I hope you all don't mind. It's kind of a knifey thing to do, right? So I'll have to just keep an eye here. So I hope this evening finds you all well. I don't have a whole lot to talk about, but I do want to try to roll up some hours. And hey, if you guys know a guy named Knife Delights, he's hit up on the same kind of idea at the same kind of time that I have, which is, trying to crowdsource our view hours for everybody. And not only myself, but he's wanting to do it for a bunch of channels. He's a bigger channel, and that's really cool. I like that. But I had to share with him our experiences here just recently, where YouTube will go through and delete all the hours from any playlist that's just getting spammed. They're onto that, and they do not like it, and they will just take it off. So if you are trying to help me with hours, which I appreciate because I'm trying to get those hours in, I would appreciate you all just kind of hitting and picking different videos to kind of run through at different times. All right, if you can. If you can't, no worries. I'm not expecting anyone to be doing anything. We're having a big old giveaway regardless of what everyone does. But everyone's been so helpful that I'm just really looking forward to making it even bigger. Let's see here. Oh, the knife I am stropping is an old. Let's see. It is marked. Good luck reading any of this on this little horrible camera. But it is marked CT 295 420 stainless steel china. It is a Colt. With a stacked leather handle. Never seen it. It was one of my daughter's friends had it and has used it and loved it and wanted me to just sharpen up the blade. I don't really do a whole lot of actual sharpening. I don't have a fixed system or anything, but I do use a Lansky, and then I touched up the edges. So what's going on with everybody? Today, Zach had the Tenable Tarkin and Agent 005. Nice. What else we got? Chicken fried steak. Hello. Thank you for coming in and joining us tonight. Not really having anything on the agenda except I'm doing some stropping on one of my daughter's friend's knives that he gave me to fix up. So if you guys have stuff to talk about, bring it on. I'm more than willing. By the way, I'm messing with the lighting arrangements and stuff. Feel free to let me know what you think. If you like the lighting arrangements or if you don't. That's cool. I'm good with that. You just let me know. I would love to. We'll probably be on for an hour tonight. until it's time to go to bed, and then I have to get up and get ready for the morning show. Uh, Tonight at the night, I'm willing to talk about things that are maybe a little more, not necessarily controversial, but just a little more rough or whatever. Um, Conspiracy theories, that type of thing. Uh, it's good that you're all hooking up and seeing each other if you haven't seen each other in a while. That's one of the nice things about doing this that I like, is watching you all do that. It's kind of cool. So appreciate that. I'm going to be doing the. Do you guys remember? I know I've mentioned him before. You guys, Don, hello, Don and Chris. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for coming and sharing this evening and saying hello to everybody. We'll just hang out and talk this evening. Do you remember a guy named John Grateful Panda? I believe is his screen name. He got, I don't know if you all know him or remember, but he kind of got a little bit famous for a while because he would go on late at night, and he would just run a live stream for like 4 hours, and just people popping in and out the whole time, not really talking about anything, just hanging out and running a live stream for 4 hours. And yeah, that was an interesting way to get hours. I'm intrigued. Usually he would have a guest on, someone to kind of bounce off of, which is what I'm kind of counting on you all. Give me something to talk about. Counting on you all for. If not, I can always pop over here and use AI to give us some topics to talk about, because there's always topics to talk about. I was asking earlier today what everyone's next knife purchase is going to be. Do you have any planned knife purchases? Anything that you're looking forward to in particular? That's kind of a fun topic to talk about. Me, I kind of wish I could have gotten in on Brian's drop, but other than that, I haven't seen anything that's really jumping out at me. Although if you suggest things, I'll look them up. Here, I can do that here. What are my favorite knives? All of them. I know it's kind of cliche. I am just horrible at doing the pick or whatever type things for knife stuff. I have a bunch of knives thrown over here just because they're thrown over here. But any knife I can get. Well, as far as this channel goes, I really, really, really love ProTech, and I'm really trying to get ProTechs to give away for everybody, because I think that they're one of the better USA-made knife companies with a better small business-minded, I'm going to say, philosophy or way of treating people, at least as far as I've seen. And so that's why I tend to favor ProTech in that regard. But in terms of favorite knives, Spyderco's are up there. I prefer Spyderco's to Benchmade. No. Hey, Brant, welcome. Thanks for coming in tonight. I prefer Spyderco's to Benchmade, not because of any particular issue with Benchmade's quality, and I carry Benchmades with me. I mean, they're part of my rotation that I carry. It's more that, by the way, if you guys need to see some Hinderers, go look at Brant's collection, Hinderer Collector 41. Go look at his collection. It's just huge. I like to tell everyone about it every time I see you, bro. He has a nice collection. It's that Benchmade's pricing is just out of control, but then so is Spyderco's. Spyderco's starting to get up there in price too. For reasonable price Chinese-made knives, I would go with Tucson. I think that out of all the Chinese companies, well, reasonably priced. If you want to go higher, go Kubi or I mean, there's numerous upper brands, but for like 100 under 100 to 150, less than $200 knives that are really incredibly well made, I would go with Tucson. I like them. It reminds me of John Evans. Anyone watch Javon on his channel? Remind him to tell his story about me at some point. If you do, pop into his channel and say, hey, tell us about Patrick, 1 minute knife review, and Florida. we were at a same concert at one time in the past. Didn't know it, didn't realize it until 25 years later. It's an interesting story. So yeah, remind him. So, like I said, I'm in the process of sharpening up, or I guess polishing up rather, and just rehoning some hunting knives for my daughter's friend. So I'll be doing that while we talk. You got it. You're thinking about getting a hinder? Tell me, Brant, are hinders? Well, I own the ZT versions, but they seem like they're pretty big, chunky knives. Are they really that big? Um, if Tucson did some marketing and U.S. warehousing, they would get a big chunk. I think so. Jim Cox, thanks for coming in here. Thanks for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. Just kind of stropping a knife here while we hang out and talk. Yeah, I think if Tucson had or had local retailers where people could actually handle their knives and get some hands-on time with them, I think they would definitely get a bigger share of the market than they have. They're kind of just an unknown, not unknown brand, but kind of just a little hidden brand, if you know what I mean. People who know about them know about them, but they're kind of niche. So, boy, these little Skinners are not a gut hook and everything. It's a little Skinner. Chunky blade. Whoever did the original sharpening on this thing did a great job. By the way, it's a Damascus style. Can I get the lighting? My lighting is awful. Let me kick on my main light. Be right back. Yeah, we'll just go with regular full lighting and yeah, let's do that. So you can kind of see the Damascus on this. It actually looks like it was a pretty well made piece. I don't know if it's Pakistani Damascus or not, but it seems like it's pretty good. The ACR Chris Reeves Umnuzan Tonto is on your dream knife list. I carry. It was one of my dream knives. I was happy to get it when I got it. I carry a small 31 and S45V in, whatever that is, S45V in, with me on a daily basis. It is one of my always on knives that I have in my side scrub pockets down here. See, yeah, you can't see down that far. And I'm not going to pull the computer down, but you can. It's in my scrub pockets for my pants, and it's always there, easy to grab if I'm in a hurry, along with my pry bar. They're always right there in my side pocket. So I guess a little pocket dump just happened, right? That and my Hank that I always have, and I'm going to clean my glasses right now. So that's almost like a full pocket dump. There we go. My primary blade varies from day to day. So I assume, does everyone else, if you have, so quick question. If you have a fair number of knives, I know many people in here only have a couple or a few, and nothing against that. That's awesome. But if you have a fair number of knives, do you find yourself dropping into a habit of always carrying the same ones and you get like a set rotation, or do you make yourself go through and get different ones and make yourself carry them? I find myself having to make myself carry some of my knives. I like the knives. I'm very fond of the knives. But I have just other knives I like to carry more. It's not like that they're bad or anything. I just have others I carry more easily. I'm just kind of curious. Zach has a set rotation. Okay. You want to tell us what it is, Zach? I'm just kind of curious. I know Blue has a set rotation. Blue Manali Ninjas and I wish he was here to throw his link up in the dojo. It's been very nice. I know he has a set rotation, and it's pretty much the same ones. Jim has specific set and some that you never carry for no good reason. You know what? I have some I never carry, some for good reason, because like I showed off my most useless knife this morning on my live stream this morning. And I mean, that thing is just not ever going to get carried for any purpose. It just serves no purpose for me. But I have it in my collection because it's a cool knife. But yeah, it's not a carry. And I also have others. I don't carry my channel knife very often just because it's so darn expensive. I don't want to damage it, at least not too much. Jim said, okay, you rotate through a set, but not all. Yeah, I kind of rotate. I have some that I just really don't carry at all. Or if I carry them, it's because I'm going to talk about them on a video, or I intentionally. stuff. But usually, it's usually frankly, mostly it's my traditionals. They're not usually going to get carried because I'm into moderns, frankly. I love my traditional collection, but I'm not blessed till it carries between 6 and 8. Okay, that's not bad. Blessed. I'm not bad at all. I'm doing better than I thought. Zach runs through a Kaiser Bugai, a Dimco 8020.5. I had that in my pocket today. The pair of Spyderco Pair 3, Civivi Thug, Vosteed Grind, Vosteed Porcupine, Kaiser Sheepdog 2.9. Okay. And for a fixie, you either carry an SC or an Agent 05. Okay, 005. 6 to 8 knives every day. Let's see. Oh, saying hi to Market. Okay. If I miss anyone when you come in, please say something to me that I missed you. And let me get this over on the right chat as well. There we go. That way I don't miss anybody. But yeah, if I miss you when you come in, keep saying hi or make sure someone spams that you're here and I missed you, because I want to say hi to everybody. Regardless of whether it's daytime or nighttime, I always want my channel to be a positive thing, and I want to uplift people. I always want to make the world a better place than I find it, if I can, if it's all possible. It's kind of a philosophy thing, yeah. Like, understand nihilistic philosophies as well, the way the world is. So let's see here. What else does everyone do? Do you rotate a knife through your rotation? Do you carry the same thing all the time? Do you get a new knife and then that's all you carry for a while? I've had that happen where I get a new knife and that's just what always is going to be in my pocket for a while. Hasn't happened lately, and it has happened. In fact, I have the last 3 knives I bought. I have all 3 of them right here. Not intentionally, but they're all 3 right here. And I did a video on them, and they're all incredibly budget knives. This is a Walmart aluminum one in Tonto. And this is a Tonto I missed in my Tonto live stream the other day. Sorry, I missed one. 14C28 in. Fairly good knife, not great. I doubt the steel's heat treated well. I think Metal Complex and then they checked them and they were awful. But yeah, and then I have the original one, and I got these because they were so cheap and people were into them. And I've mentioned before, if I were out traveling for $10, to have something in hand that, I mean, you can see how flippy it is. To have something in hand, I would grab it. The steel is horrible, but I would still grab it. Mark says hello to everybody and hope everyone had a great day. Indeed, I hope your day was better, and I hope tomorrow will be even better than today was. And tomorrow morning, I will greet you with a morning show, and we will wish everybody well. I thank you all for coming in and helping me get my time and view time in and joining me here. And if there's stuff you want to talk about, I am always willing to talk about probably about anything. I love telling stories too about my medical history and patients and stuff I've seen over the years. Jim Cox in a folder, sometimes a pocket fixie, and you have a pouch with the pry bar flashlight, Chavez utility knife, and a pin that you usually throw in a cargo pocket. Okay, so is that like one of the flat pouches, or is it? It would have to be if you're throwing it in a cargo pocket. You're not like throwing in like a full big pouch, are you? Excuse me. It's more one of those thin ones with like 3 pockets in it or 4 pockets. That's kind of, I guess, from what you're describing. Paul carries his bug out in a slip joint, usually a Fox slip joint. And if you carry a 3rd knife, you rotate it. Well, Paul, we need to talk, because remember, 1 is never enough, 2 is too few, and 3 barely cuts it. So you need to start carrying 4 with you all the time. I'm playing, of course. I like that little thing. I like coming up with little things like that. Let's see here. Jumping down, Mark. I'm doing the same thing, stropping a couple knives and cleaning, pretty much nightly routine, wind down time. Yeah, exactly. I was kind of thinking that myself. And I was like, you know what? 1, I've been needing to get this done because I was asked to do it. And I get busy with paperwork and I don't get things done as well and fast as I should. I'm really notorious about that for shipping. Shipping usually takes me a week or two just to get everything going. And yeah, this is kind of my wind down time after doing paperwork. I'm usually playing a video game, but I would much rather spend the time with you all. I really would. It's very pleasant and we have good topics. So let's see. Jim Cox, it folds in half. Oh, the pouch. Okay, it folds in half. Art Company Sidewinder, 4 pockets, and it snaps together. A snap together spot in the middle for a hank. Well, Jim, hang around and come to my live stream. I'm giving away some interesting hanks. You might find one that you want to carry. The birthday live stream on August 31st at 10 a.m. is going to have a bunch of hanks in it. Thank you for the opportunity for the segue into promoting my giveaway. I appreciate it. Chicken fried steak carries a Spyderco Benchmade or Civivi for a pocket clip. Yeah, for your folder or fidgety knife, right? And a Victorinox, usually a Tinker. May have many patterns. Did you see my video, my live stream where I brought all my Victorinoxes with me? If you haven't, you should go check it out because I have a fair collection. I also have videos on my entire Victorinox Swiss Army knife collection and my Swiss Army knife clone collection. I've actually got a fair collection of clones as well. And oh, by the way, I was using like a yellow stropping compound on here, and now I'm touching it up with a 6 micron over here. Just in case anyone knows. As far as where I got the micron stuff, someone was making it in the community, and I don't even remember who. But when people in the community are making something and I have extra money, I will generally try to promote and buy what they're making, just to help out the community. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Is to be helping each other out. Blessed usually carries his Cold Steel Recon 1 Tonto. I don't have the Tonto. I have oh yeah, actually I do have the Recon 1 Tonto with me here somewhere. Where are you hiding? Oh, my Tonto Recon 1. Oh, Recon. I'm talking about this guy? The Recon Tonto, right? If that's the one you're talking about, yep. Good knife. I love this. And if you're talking about the SR one, I don't think I have it, but this one is the SRK. And I got it from JB. I won it from JB. Oh, you're talking about the folder. Oh, okay. Okay. I like the fixed blades. I like the fixed blades. They're pretty darn cool, in my opinion. A folder is too. A folder is very cool. Let's see. Tonto, the SOG Flash AT, Gonzo Firebird. I don't hear that many people talking about Gonzos anymore. It's just not the popular thing it was when Birdshot 4, Birdshot IV, were talking about the Gonzos in the past. They would bring out their Gonzo collection. But they're reasonably priced, and for budget knives, I think they're better than your usual, stuff that you're going to find. The usual, I like the way that blade's flashing. The usual stuff you're going to find is usually is just usually not, like on Temu and stuff. It's just going to be crap. It's just going to be garbage. Let's see here. Keeping going. Kaiser Quartz and the Swiss Army knives, dedicated carry for now. You want to get an alternative to the SR1 eventually. Blessed, I mean, I have no criticisms of your carry there. That's a pretty nice carry. I think that's nice. Today is a new knives day, Mark. Okay, you got an orange G10 Kubi, Drake liner lock. It's your first Kubi. Yeah, let me know what you think. You got it on a lottery on Whatnot and a bunch of poo-poo knives. Poo-poo Town. Yeah, we all like Poo-poo Town. Poo-poo knives to give to co-workers. Yeah, no, that's nice. I mean, at least I think it's kind of nice, but you might, hopefully they're not so poo-poo that they're just going to be turned off to knives. That would be a bummer. In that case, just give them a little Swiss Army knife classic. I gave my coworkers, so for a couple of years I was contracting at a nursing home, and I gave my coworkers every year a different piece of EDC. So I started off with the little Swiss Army knife SD classic for all the coworkers. Then the next year was a little Olight flashlight for all of them. And then the following year was combinations of things like uh, Hanks and pry bars and stuff like that I gave them all. And then of course the ladies who weren't into EDC, I gave other stuff. Yeah, but that was just because they weren't into EDC, not because I had one that was. So that kind of qualifies it, right? Well, this is dropping up really nice. Let's see how the cutting edge on it had turned out. This thing is so thick, I don't think the cutting edge is all that great. So, there we go. It is, no, it's slicing. It's just only sawing in a couple of places. And keep working this. We'll get it to where it's nice and pretty for him until he goes out and uses it. So the other cheapo knife that I had gotten was this one, and this is actually one of the best, really cheap budget knives I've ever put my hands on. It ranks up there with QSP. It's very well made. It's recessed liners on a liner lock with ball bearings, smooth action. There's just the unfortunate controversy because of the design language. Someone had the bright idea of copying what looks like to be a beg knife in their design, and that just kind of ruined it for this knife for people. But you know what? I picked one up to have for it, and the Icon. Yeah, this is the Icon from Harbor Freight, and sadly, it's a really good knife. It's a shame that it has the controversy around it, because it's a very well made knife. For $30, I got mine on sale for 30. I think it was like 25, 30. It feels funky in your hand. I kind of like the shape because well, I practiced martial arts for years, but as a martial artist on a knife that you might be thrusting with, this thing is canted perfect for a thrust without thinking. Your hand is automatically set to stabilize it, brace it in your palm, and thrust with it. So it's literally just designed for that. That's anyway, but it's a really nice knife. I'm shocked at how well made it is with the G10, the inlay, the carbon fiber inlay. It's real carbon fiber. It's not just a sticker, although it might actually just be a sticker now that I look at it. God knows. I think it is an inlay though. Is there any way to tell on the inside? You know what? I don't know if there's a way to tell on the inside here. Hold on a second here. Yeah, no, it's G10 on the inside. So yeah, it's just if it is an inlay, onlay, or whatever, that's all it is. Oh, by the way, what I just grabbed there was off of this guy. This was an Olight lamp that they made. There we go. I'm gonna set it right over here. An Olight lamp that they made. Let me turn this down still a little more. Go down there. Just give this a little bit of light. Yeah, there we go. Just a little bit of light. They had, and it was one of their first forays into detachable lighting. And just attaches there. It's really cool little lamp. They haven't made it since, which is kind of a shame because, like I said, it's a pretty cool little lamp. Jumping back here, the Icon unit. The poo-poo knives are cheap Chinese plastic lock packs, but at least you sharpen them a little bit. At least they'll have a sharp edge. Yeah, what are you gonna do with them? Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, what are you gonna do with them when you get them? I mean, can you keep them in your own collection? It'll actually probably just devalue your own collection and make it. People see that and like, oh, well, nothing else that person has is going to be any good. Oh well. But anyway, yeah, this Icon knife is really good. Oh, you know what? I need to be stropping his other knife. That's the one I need to be stropping. I shouldn't be playing. There we go. All right, get back to work here. Whoever put an edge on this thing originally did a great job of getting the angle. I just basically had to take a honing rod to it for a little bit, and then we'll be doing this stropping here and stropping it up, and it's going to be doing good. It might have been resharpened. Someone might have resharpened it at some point. I can't really tell. Um, so tell me more, guys. Tell me what's going on in the world. I've been doing paperwork for the last 4 hours, 3 hours. So I haven't been keeping up. I tried to catch in some live streams just to give some view time to people. I don't know who all was on tonight, but I think I saw Rochambeau for briefly, and who else did I catch someone else's, but it was only for a brief moment. Anyway, I'm trying to get in, and please, everyone, when you get a chance, catch people's lives or go watch their old video lists. There's a lot of people trying to get up to 3,000, maybe 3,000 hours, but actually the 4,000. And I just found out tonight that YouTube is up to its usual garbage. Knife Delights. Let me find his sticker. Where are you hiding at, Tom? There you go. Knife Delights, right there above mine. Interesting. Yeah, Knife Delights, Tom, put out a video letting people know that YouTube is, if you do not make your 4,000 hours by February of next year, 2027, they're increasing it to 8,000. Have fun. Yeah. Isn't that special? So yeah, go watch as many people who are over 1,000 subs and are trying to get their hours in. Watch as many videos from people, and not even just mine. I appreciate people trying to help me get up in the hours. I really do. But looking at that, that's just awful. I can't believe they're doing that. And so let's all get out there and try to get everyone's hours and view times up. Yeah, that is just really, it's appropriate for dark topics at night, right? I mean, that is just gatekeeping to the extreme, because getting 8,000 hours is insanely difficult if you are just starting out and you're trying to get subs. So, you get 500 subs and you'll get there. We'll get you there. We're going to get everybody there before February. Tom started a campaign to get everyone there that he can think of by getting all, he has like 6,000 subs, getting everyone he can get going. I'll get everyone I can get going. I'm on board. Let's watch as many people's videos as we can. I can't get credit for live streaming or doing, I can't get credit for spamming my playlists. But, if you have a channel, you let me know. Let's post your channel in here. If you have a channel in here and you let me know, yeah, we'll crowdsource this and we'll beat them at their own game. They think that they can regulate people and be corporate gatekeeping BS, whatever you want to call it. But that's okay, Blessed. Go ahead and post your link to your channel in here. I'm people will sub. Really, videos don't count until they've had 100 views. Now, Jim, I was not aware of that because it does seem to be counting mine. But yeah, then pick videos that have more than 100 views, or let's get them over 100 views and then watch them. But yeah, it's so rough for people who are just starting out. Jim, I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware of that at all. I'll bring that up tomorrow morning as well. Thanks for sharing that bit of information. That definitely means that if someone's got videos, a bunch of videos that are under, I have a bunch that are under 100 views. Well, one, let's get them over 100 views, but so that they do get credit for them, because that's just downright evil. The person puts in the work and people are watching. If you have a 20-minute video that gets 100 views, that's 200 minutes, right? No. Yeah. No, that's 2,000 minutes, right? I mean, that's a lot of view time. And so they ought to be giving you the credit for that, for all that view time before it gets there. That's ridiculous. Anyway, all right. Well, the other thing I recommend is that everyone who has smaller channels start popping on. Everyone start popping on and doing lives. Open up multiple live streams for people in your windows and watch everybody at the same time. Yeah. We can't let YouTube, keep the man down, right? We can't let YouTube do that to everybody. That is just downright rotten and bad. I'm a big believer. I was brought up to okay, so let's tell a story time, right? Story time. Anyway, let's tell a story. So my parents, hi Ron, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you being here. So my parents were computer programmers. I was born in about 67. I grew up in the 70s. My stepfather was programming computers. And so I grew up and I got to play tic-tac-toe on one of the very first non-military computers to be able to play tic-tac-toe in the world. In the world. It was a screen that was about this big, about 4 inches big, and the machine was run by punch cards. Big old stack of punch cards that my mother was a key punch, and so I got to go in. She would be finishing work, and then they would load up the program for me, and I would get to play tic tac toe on this thing while they were finishing their work. Right? It was an accounting software computer. This thing was huge, but my dad had written this program to be able to play tic tac toe on it. Yeah, my dad was a gamer. What can I say? And so I got to play on that, and that was in 1971. I was 3.5 years old. That was very early on. Most people didn't know computers existed except for the space age stuff in room size. So that computer had that screen that was that small. The computer itself was a full room. The computer itself took up more room than this office I'm in. It was like a 15 by 10 office, and it took up more room than this office I'm in. It was insane. What led me on to that story, I have no idea. Oh, I guess growing up with computers and software and stuff. Yeah, I've been around this type of technology stuff since forever, and I don't know what led me off on that tangent. So I do that. I'll go off on tangents, and I hope you all don't mind telling stories. But that's a fun story to be able to say that I got to play tic tac toe on one of the first non-government computers to ever do it. DOS and a green screen. Yep. Well, this was beyond DOS. This was with punch cards, and then they got so excited when they got their first hard drive, and the hard drive was this massive 100 what is it 128K disk that was this big that had a butterfly bolt that held it down onto the computer, and you had to change it to change computer programs, something like that. I remember when they upgraded to 356 or whatever. It was exciting. Anyway, it's been so long that I don't remember all my numbers for computers and everything. But yeah, that was an experience to remember. Anyone else remember when they were really young? I'm kind of curious about that. 67. Does anyone remember, what's the computer's name? Joshua. You know what? The computer, not that I know, it didn't have a name that I'm aware of. It was probably a counting computer, 111. Given the way my dad would name things, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see what we're saying. My aunt worked at a high school that had a punch card computer. Yeah, they were crazy. Printed out a banner with, yeah, I remember when we were printing banners. That came later. That came later when they were running large discs. We were doing the big, the lined paper that would come off of the dot printer matrix printer thingy, and while I was making noise and be printing, making a huge amount of noise. We had one of those in our house forever. We had IBM mainframes in my house when I was growing up because my dad was programming on them. In fact, IBM almost bought out my parents' company. They had meetings, big. It was a big hotel thing. They had a big conference board meeting, and IBM was investigating them. And my dad, he did not like the corporatees of IBM, and so he would. I remember the story really well. They after they were having the meeting and everything, we went out to a fancy dinner, right? And they had T-bone steaks and whatever. And my dad loved his T-bones, and so he was finishing up his T-bone. He was picking up the bone and just gnawing on it, getting the meat off and everything in front of these East Coast executives trying to buy his company for millions of dollars. It was just like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. He was done with them by then. He was just like, you know what, these people, I'm done with them. I'm just gonna drive them away. And so he did. You remember his Windows 3.1? Yes. I remember having to load World of Warcraft manually onto a 3.1 that my parents had. I had Windows 95 on my very first personal computer for college. I was still in college back then, 95. I went back to school at the age of 30. Well, I finished school at the age of 30, went back at 25. 26, something like that. And floppies were floppy. Yep. In fact, I remember the 5-inch floppies. I was using a 5-inch floppy to store D&D characters on back in the 70s off of a key punch machine. I would use a 5-inch floppy to store the data on. That was back in the day as well. So, but yeah, I remember loading World of Warcraft onto, and I was really happy because it would run. So I was able to play it over at my parents' house. Why I was over there, I was already out on my own. I was out on my own at the age of 17 and a half, 18. But I mean, it didn't mean I didn't love my parents or whatever, right? Let's see here. The original Macs were just a big screen and a floppy. Yeah, it was just a big show, right? A big TV screen with, and TVs had that big back end for all that. And flat screens, everyone with flat screens, you have no idea how bad TVs were. Man, having to move from like dorm rooms to apartments to like that with the large TV was a nightmare back in the day. Remembering Leisure Suit Larry. Yep. Boeing was buying up old mainframes that were going to scrap in the 90s. They used the software and they're stuck with them. My parents dumped them. My parents dumped 2 very large mainframes. If nothing else, they could have been used as studio props, and those things are worth money. You saw a functioning IBM, mainframe as a studio prop. They'll pay you 4 times what it was worth if they need it right then for a movie. Anyway. Oh well, it is what it is. People make dumb decisions. My stepfather had the ability to make the wrong decision the right decision at the wrong time. He really got into silver in 1985. If you know what I'm saying, I believe it was 1983, whatever it was, when the Hunt brothers were running up silver and it was at $50 an ounce. My dad decided to get into silver. I mean, he'd been in the silver before, but he decided to get into it. Like, oh, okay. That didn't work out so well. He owned Comcast stock. Comcast, huge cable company, right? He owned Comcast stock right before they went bankrupt and restructured and then went big. He owned part of the Pacers. He owned a part of the Pacers, Indianapolis basketball team, when they were ABA, before the NBA. Just the right decisions at the very wrong time. Oh, well, is what it is. Doom and Wolf 3D. Is that Wolfenstein 3D? I think is what you're saying. UHF and VHF and the TV channels that would go off the air. Don't forget TVs that would shut down about midnight or 1 a.m. and then you would just get static the rest of the night, especially on Sunday mornings when they wouldn't start up until the religious programming would start at like 6 a.m. And you wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. as a kid and you're just stuck with static. I remember that. Duke Nukem. I remember Duke Nukem really well. You got 4 channels. So now we didn't have you had a little Watchmen TV. Let me jump back up. I'm missing stuff because I'm stropping. There were some really neat computer places in Seattle in the late 90s. Yeah, there were computer hubs. They still have them, I guess, in different countries. But they're not that common, like computer coffee houses or whatever. They're not that common now. A little Watchmen TV you would watch at night. You know what? I have one of those. Let me see if I know where it is. Well, it's not a Watchmen. It's a Casio. I have a Casio television. There we go. I don't know if this. I think this thing still works. I don't think I have batteries in it. Let's hope I don't, because I don't want them to absolutely go horribly bad. Come off there. Okay, good. It used AAA batteries to run, and it would pick up fairly good channels, and it was in color. This is a little TV. This is better color TV than I had as a kid growing up. That's for damn sure. well, black and white. Anyway, that thing won't get any channels anymore because everything's all digital. But I think if in an emergency broadcast situation, it might. So let me jump back here. I'm losing it. Okay. The UHF VHS with the antenna, flight simulators. Yeah, I remember the flight simulators. They were cool. I also remember landing, like World of Warcraft, where you could play with like 4 other players. It was a lot of fun. 4 channels, 2 in Spanish. Up north, we didn't have that. Down here, we do. Ron says a memory board that was 1 foot by 2 foot and held a megabyte of memory. And you know what? And that was pretty darn good. I think I remember putting 164 in. Is that right? 164K RAM chips, and I was really excited about them or something like that. I don't remember the size. I'm horrible with the numbers, like I said. But I had a laptop that I upgraded and put some decent chips in, and yeah, it was exciting. I remember that. Let's see here. Giant satellite. So I met one of the first people doing the satellite things in Kentucky in the early 80s before it was real popular. They were in the process of selling satellite companies, and that's what they did. And yeah, the satellite dishes that were like 5 feet across, 4 feet across, that were really huge, that were required until like DirecTV came out with their little 2-foot dishes or 1-foot dishes. Yeah, those things were really big. Direct T and you would hack the cards for people, huh? I wouldn't go around admitting things like that, although I bet the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Mouse. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Mouse. I didn't see you in here earlier, and I'm happy to see you. I saw you, and I read your thing, but I didn't recognize that I hadn't said hello yet. So thank you for joining me for the live stream tonight. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everyone who's been watching my videos and helping me get the view hours in. As I said, Knife Delights is starting a campaign to I'm starting to get some asthma attacks. Starting a campaign to get everyone who is low on hours to go up because YouTube in February is increasing the hour requirement to 8,000. If you didn't know that, well, now you do. And I'm finding that very, very, very disappointing. Fortunately, I think we're going to slip in with all the help everyone's been giving me. I appreciate it. But there's a lot of channels out there that are just getting going that, I mean, breaking through that 1,000 point is really difficult. But beyond that, it's even worse. Yeah, it was over 20 years ago. Yeah, I figure you're okay. I figure you're okay. But you never know. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm always careful about admitting too much about anything on here. I'll tell stories and stuff, but I don't know if I actually want to ever admit to ever having done anything that was actually wrong. You never know how that could come back and haunt you. You know, someone might someone might decide to run for office or something one day, and oh, remember you were on that live stream and you said blah blah blah. um, yeah, it's frightening how integrated technology is, and how everything we do nowadays, everything we do is tracked, cataloged, and it's just crazy. Let's see if I can get this thing to slice. What's going on here? There we go. That's better. Yeah, you'll curly Q a little bit. Might need to hone the edge just a bit more. I'll do that a little bit later. You mean DirecTV jail? DirecTV jail. Yeah, no, you mean run from office? I'm not sure what you mean there. Get awful bored watching my life. You know what? And I think that's probably true for most of us until they wouldn't, right? And something happens. My concern is that people are just growing up without the freedom to make mistakes. You know, if you make a mistake, it's immediately going to come back and get you nowadays. Whereas it used to be, you could make mistakes and learn from it. And as long as no one was really hurt and nothing happened to anybody, then you're probably okay. Nowadays, people can't make mistakes or do anything wrong. If a kid does something wrong, it's going to haunt them the rest of their lives. You said run for office. Thank you, blessed. I pray and hope that that's true. I pray and hope that's true, but that doesn't mean that it is. And still, you should just always, have a doubt. But if you want to change the world, you're not going to change it from not doing anything. You're only going to change the world by doing something about stuff. So you got to keep that in mind too. If you want to make a difference, you have to kind of be the difference, if that makes any sense. Um, at least that's kind of my philosophy. I absolutely refuse to think victimist victim philosophy. For me, if something is going wrong, the things that I can do about it, the things I can change, are how I respond to it, my interaction with whatever the situation is. And so, because of that, I just believe in agency. I believe that you should be able to, you know, change the world around you. I guess I don't know. Let's see here. The country you live in just canceled their contract with Flock and the county. Sorry, I wish it was the country, right, Mr. Mouse? The Flock. Hey, good on them. Yeah, Flock stuff is just really interesting. I must be driving those people nuts. I wonder what the AI thinks of me. I mean, seriously, I drive all over creation all day long because I'm doing home health, right? And I drive into really bad neighborhoods often because there are a lot of people who don't have a lot of means that do need therapy, and in home health, that's where you see a lot of that because they don't even have the means to get to a clinic. So you see them where you can see them, right? And where they need it. But yeah, that's I'm glad they're getting rid of those. And like I said, they must think crazy things about me. I've passed many of them, and I usually flip them off. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I'll drive by them and I'll be like, I hope you got a picture of that. Somewhere there's a file on me with just nothing but pictures of me flipping off cameras. Left, right, up, and down. Oh, that's good. I'm glad they're getting rid of them. I really am. I'm glad they're getting rid of them. I think the surveillance state's out of control. You want to get ads for something? Just talk about it. You'll get ads for it pretty soon. Pretty sure. You want to get ads for sharpening devices? We'll just hang out here and talk about sharpening devices, and we'll see if I find some on my Instagram here in a little bit. I bet you I do. Yeah, this is kind of the way it goes, right? Anytime people can use technology to make more money, they're going to try, which is why we need to use technology to get everyone the views they need for their YouTube channels. You know what I'm saying? We need to do that for everybody so that we can get everyone their views for their YouTube channels and get all that in. So if you have the ability, like I said, go not only my channel, but anyone who you know who's under 3,000 hours, 4,000 hours, they got to get there by February. And so, make sure they know about it. If you have a channel that you favor that's a smaller channel, or you are a smaller channel, and you now know you have a goal to achieve and you have a target you got to hit. I was just trying to hit the target to hit the target. I didn't realize we were under a timeline now. But now we're under a timeline. It is what it is, and they are not being very happy. They're not being very nice about it. Last thing on the topic, I swear, the best thing in politics is getting rid of the same thing with law. Same thing with law. We should get rid of all the lawyers. Two of my close friends are lawyers. We should just get rid of them all, though. In terms of a profession, yeah. If people have a grievance, they should have the option of dueling it out. We should just go back to duels, hand to hand. Pick your weapon. Let's go to duels. It would solve all the problems. And and if it didn't solve all the problems, it would solve all the problems pretty quickly eventually anyway, right? Anyone who's going to duel, eventually one of them is not going to be there anymore. And then you got that part of the problem solved. I don't know. I'm pretty callous, but this is the nighttime, so this is when I do it. You need the subs, Crow. You know what? Yeah, it's kind of a catch-22, right? You either get the one or the other. Post your channel in here, please, Ron. You're a mod. You're allowed to post your channel. Anyone who's in here that is not subscribed to Ron, over there at Crow's Blades should be, please. Um, and that applies to every channel that comes in here. I've had people be kind to me. I will always be kind to other channels too. This is not a zero sum game in which we're all in competition with each other. Although in a way it is, because there's only so many eye holes to give us view time, right? And so I ask though that people check out Knife Tube schedule, especially if you're a channel, and try to go on when no one else is on or scheduled. And if you are a channel and you want to get scheduled, try and get with Scott in, and that would be My Knife Journey, and try to get onto the schedule so that we can all know when you're going to be around. And like my nighttime show is not on the schedule. I'm just doing it randomly, and I'm probably stepping on someone's toes. And if I am, I'm sorry. I really am. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just I can come on at night when I can. And I think usually between 11:30 and midnight, most people are not. Blessed, you should. Set yourself up a little studio, a little place you can do it, or even like I did, just deck out your car and do it from your car. You don't even have to show that much. You can just show what you want on your screen, and just start talking to people. Go reaching out. It seems to be working. It seems to be working for me. That's all I can say. I can't promise it'll work for everybody, but try to reach out and just put yourself out there as much as you can. Hopefully it works, and hopefully it works for me. Hopefully it works for me. I really hope it works for me too. I keep looking over my shoulder, and I realize I have never shown this knife ever. This will be a first time knife reveal that you guys will be able to see that no one has ever seen before on my channel. You're having a giveaway this Saturday at 5 p.m. Nice. There you go, everybody. Go check it out. That's awesome. And of course, mine is on August 31st at 10 a.m. And Ron, I don't know if you've heard the news, but Middle Complex is sending a knife, an Integral, some very nice knife. I'm giving away a Protect Sprint, and Brian Winters is allowing me to give away a Fusion from his recent drop. And so if you want to go check that out, go check out the Fusion. They're sold out, and so you'll only be able to get one on my live, at least at presently. That's what I'm aware of. Need to start making content. You just need to do it. Yeah, the only way to get going is just to do it. So this is a custom handmade. I mean, the guy wasn't charging that much. I got it at a craft store. It's just like a nickel steel, and I think good, but it's like an assassin's dagger, right? And so a Chris, I think is what they're called when they have the curved, the recurved edge. So it's like a dagger Chris. Brass, nice wood, like a cherry wood, I think. Hilt pommel, and it's pinned in at the base with a full rat tang that's about 1/8 of an inch. Pretty nice little knife. Anyway, all handmade from somewhere deep in Mexico. So wife and son are already subscribed, Mr. Crow. Absolutely. I appreciate, yeah. And Mr. Mouse, if you can get them to subscribe to mine too, please. Hello. I absolutely appreciate it if you can. And everyone who has subscribed. I do appreciate that very, very much. So sorry to expose you to my backside there. But yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. I appreciate it. You need the stuff to make content on, yeah, you have to have some, right? I don't think you have to have as much as you think you do. I think you actually would do as good to find a topic or a goal that you want to achieve with your lives or with your content, and just keep hammering that goal. My morning show, if I show off knives and everything, my morning show is about everyone being nice to one another, right? About everyone having a good day, having a better day than they had, before they came in. And that's what I'm really pushing it as. And that's one of my, catchphrases, or one of the things I'm doing. So I'm trying to be consistent on that, right? So every live stream, I'm trying to have a little pep talk and just tell everyone, I hope they're having a better day and that we're going to lift everybody up today. That's kind of like the theme of that morning show. I hope everyone appreciates that. And that's every morning, Monday through Saturday at about 9:45. I'm posting banners, so you'll see them. But yeah, I appreciate y'all coming in and being there for those shows as well. It's been really a good turnout, and everyone's been really nice for joining us. I've really been blown away by all the support and all the turnout. I really have. And then the other thing, these late nights, y'all coming in here and joining us for these is really nice as well. I appreciate it very much. Can't tell you how much, in fact. So, and this thing's starting to get a little bit of a, there we go, a little bit of a shine on the edge. Starting to look a little pretty. It scuffed it a little bit, but yeah, it's just polishing right out. Very nice. All right, everyone's subbing over there to Ron. Yes, please do. I've been in some of his lives. He's very entertaining. He's a good guy. And it brings up something, Ron, and everybody that I've been trying to point out to everyone. Watch live people. The AI slop that's out there is easy to get hooked into, but as soon as you recognize it for what it is, man, just don't give them the views. Don't give the people. It's not the AI. The AI is just a tool. It's the people that are just spamming garbage videos out there. The top 10 knives, and then they're using other people's content. Those AIs are scrubbing the internet, and they might use a picture of me holding this knife up and talk about how clip point Bowie knives or whatever. And most of the time it's not even accurate information. It's just pretty awful. So I'm not a fan of all the AI stuff. So watch live people, watch real people doing real things. I think that's how we can reclaim the YouTube space from all the AI stuff that's out there, because it's just gotten to the point where I find it almost offensive. It really is. The next time I hear, it's not just the quality of the steel that determines how a knife works, it's also the angle of the edge grind. And smart knife makers or sharpeners know this. Or it's like, oh my God, this AI garbage is just horrible, and just gets on my nerves. All right. You would love to integrate. You would sub, but you'd have to unsub. I have to do that all the time. I even do that. I'll unsub and resub and see what it does. Maybe it messes with the algorithm. I don't know. Mark would love to integrate photography into knives and cars. Cars, man. Cars are cool. I would love to see stuff on cars too. You could do that, or integrate the two, knives and cars. I don't know how you would, but I bet you could. There's got to be a way. They are two different things to a degree. You might do better with like motorcycles and the whole outlaw image thing. Although there are outlaw cars, you could definitely go with the outlaw image. Knife carrying, car driving, Mad Max warrior type thing. I don't know. Just a thought, or Death Race, 2000 type thing. I'm just trying to come up with ideas for you. I have enough time to do mine. Yes, when you subscribe to anyone's channel, make sure, especially trying to help them out, make sure you watch some videos, a couple here and there, and also make sure you comment on those videos so that the stupid YouTube algorithm knows that you're really a subscriber, because they will unsubscribe people. I had that happen to me once when Lefty did a shout out. I gained 170 subscribers from Lefty one time, and they took all 169 back. I was just like, what the hell? I was talking, my first real run-in with YouTube being YouTube, which is part of the reason I guess I got a deep down urge to figure out how to crowdsource our way into making YouTube's algorithm work for us, if you know what I'm saying. And there's got to be more we can do. I'm happy with everyone's efforts so far, but if you're gonna help out, watch a few videos. You can watch a couple back to back. I think it will count them, especially even in playlists. but I think you have to pop out every hour to 2 hours and then pop back into another playlist or set up another video. And of course, watching the most recent latest videos will also help. I think it really does help people out. Uh, you watch the same video by 3 different channels today. Do you mean like AI generated stuff, Don? Is that what you're talking about? Because yeah, it's pretty bad, right? It's pretty darn bad. And that's why I think that the live stream, that's one of the reasons why I started doing the live streams, is I think that the live stream stuff is where things are going to go. AI can't really do an interactive live stream where it's responding to your comments and doing stuff. It just isn't there yet, and it won't be for a long time, I think, on that, because that ability to interact to multiple people at different times would require it to compartmentalize too many aspects. I have access to a full business AI, so I've played around with stuff, and this is Chat GPT for business. It's through our foundation. I'm part of a nonprofit, a couple nonprofits, and because I have access to that, I've been able to play with it, and I found that it's pretty stupid still. Right? It can do some amazing things, but it can make some pretty dumb mistakes, and it does not have the ability to compartmentalize multiple conversations with multiple people and then tie them together to, let's turn that blade away from me, tie them together to bring it to a topic or something. It simply can't do that yet, and it will be a long time before it does. I'm pretty sure. Uh, and you said yes. So, Mark, cars and knives could go great together, especially matching. You know what? Yeah, car jewelry, right? Pocket jewelry. I was commenting this morning, that a lot of cases, knives for men nowadays are a bit like pocket jewelry, so or accessories, right? Clothing accessories. It's a part of our daily uniform, if you will, as someone who does really everyday carry. And it doesn't even necessarily mean that you have to be using a knife on your day-to-day business, job, whatever. It just literally means that you have to uh, dress appropriately. People love to match. They have their pocket dumps, all of that stuff. It's jewelry. A large part of what we do is jewelry, anyway, I think. You can see matching an old wood handle slip joint or fixed blade with an old woody car. Yeah, Blessed. I think there's some pretty cool. I think there's pretty cool ideas out there that could be done. Variety, colors, and styles. Got some daydreaming to do. Awesome, Mark. I'm glad you were able to come in here and get some ideas. I'm again. I can only stress that I am absolutely huge on the idea of also all helping each other and getting the community and helping each other advance. So when anyone needs inspiration, if they can get it here, wow, it just made my day. It really did. And so I'm pleased that happened. I'm very pleased that it happened. Yeah, thanks for the hearts. I'm very pleased that it happened. Anyone You're a lefty. You're always thinking outside the box. I did a lot of research in personality types when my undergraduate. I was doing it with health and wellness. So, but in my undergraduate degree, I'm only and I say this with a little bit of tongue in cheek, because if you know how things work, it doesn't have any bearing on anything. I'm only a Bachelor of Science in terms of physical therapy. That was the minimum requirement to take the exam when I got out of school. The year after I got out of school, it went to a master's degree, and 2 years later, it went to a doctorate. So I was very fortunate to get out without having to go the extra time to get the doctorate. And because of the way the degree system works and all that, I'm grandfathered in. I can do everything they can do. In fact, I was a clinical instructor for Texas State University and Texas Women's University for their doctoral programs. And for their students coming out, I was doing the clinical instructing for them for a while, for down here. And it just goes to show you that it's not always the piece of paper that matters. It's what you get from it and what you learn from it and what you do with it. And you can teach yourself almost anything nowadays if you want to. Um, there's absolutely an unlimited library of how to do things online. You want to learn how to be a plumber? You can watch YouTube videos on how to do plumbing. You want to learn to be a car mechanic? You can watch YouTube videos on how to be a car mechanic. You have to have the drive to do it, but you don't necessarily have to have the resources to go to school or anything. You just have to have the drive to pick something and do it. You also have to have the ability, and this is kind of important. I The money for the tools as well. Yes, that's true. I think you also have to have the ability to identify an acute need. If you can identify a lack in a system, like I can only use myself as an example. The current medical system is set up to really punish providers, right? If you want to run a clinic as an outpatient clinic and you're trying to build Medicare and Medicaid, the hoops you have to jump through and the garbage you have to put up with is insane. Um, Regulations, everything. And so I was able to identify a gap in that system in which home health companies that can't afford to keep a therapist on full time have to contract with therapists to provide therapy for them. And because of that, I was able to create a business that just bills those companies for my services rather than dealing with Medicare, Medicaid, and insurance companies. And so I was able to circumvent the need to have accounting, a billing office, um, secretarial staff for interacting with various companies, things like that. So I've been able to really slim down my business to basically just me. It has pluses and minuses. It means that if something goes wrong with me, then that's it for the business, right? It also has pluses in that I do not have to deal with Medicare or Medicaid. My services are a fee for service only. So if you can get into a business that you want to do, and then you can find a gap in the services that allow you to make a little niche for yourself, that's the way to go. And I can't identify those for you, or that applies to everybody, right? Or someone else would already be doing it, right? But you'll see it. You see those things when they come along. You get a little inspiration, something comes up, and boom, there you go. Or you can make your own gap. I would like to point out someone who's done that would be like PNW. Start off with fun stuff, PNW, fun stuff. PNW works now, right? With the pin carving, started off just carving pins and trying to give them away and sell them. And now he's doing, CNC machining and has sales. He's on EDC Roundtable. So he's basically created their own business and their own career. Well, whatever. I hope they're making money. I hope they're doing well, but I shouldn't say career, but yeah, they're doing something. And they did it to just on their own, just by, hey guys, here, and doing viral marketing through sending people free stuff, things like that. Um, pretty savvy move. I'm impressed, really, right? Yeah, they saw a gap, they saw a need, and they started providing it. And then they saw a need people didn't realize they had. That's another one. If you can recognize a need people have, but they don't realize they have, you can absolutely use that to make a living, for sure. In fact, it's a good way to make a living. I'll tell you the truth, because it's a win-win. Anytime you're doing business that you can do a win-win, and that means I benefit and I leave happy, and you benefit and you leave happy. That's the way business should be. That is, and forgive me for stepping into the political room. That's capitalism, right? That's what capitalism should be. Whether or not that's what it is nowadays, that's what it should be. Um, and Yeah, it's a pretty cool way to do things. So, guys, I'm getting tired and I have to get up early and come prepare a live stream for you all tomorrow morning. So, I think I'm going to get ready to wrap this up, but I want to thank you all for coming in and spending time with me this evening and helping me get my hours. And let's promote. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's promote everyone's channels. If you can watch mine and get some view time in, set up a channel, just I guess set up a playlist to run for a couple of hours. They're not going to probably take half the hours away, but set it up to run. I'd appreciate it. You never know. Maybe they'll let me keep some of them. Anything we can do to help people get up on their hours. If you haven't followed through and subscribed over there to Ron at Crow's Blades, please do. And Ron, I'll try to shout you out on JB's or Zach Live this weekend too. For what it's worth, I don't know that I'll get any any traction, but I'll try to shout you out and see if maybe we can get something going. Um, I'll see you all at 7:30 tomorrow. That's your time, right? Yeah, it's still early where you're at though. It's only like 10:40. Unfortunately for me, it's 12:40. I'm gonna I wake up groggy. It takes me a little while to get going. So I wish you all a good evening, and I will see you all tomorrow morning on the live stream at 9:45, maybe even 9:30, and we'll run till 10:30 or so. And that'll just be a good morning uplift. Everyone have a wonderful, for everyone to have a wonderful day. So in the meantime, I hope everyone has an absolutely wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you tomorrow. This has been Patrick. Bye.